Gentlemen, let me be very direct. For millions of men over 60, the first warning sign of aging is not gray hair or stiff joints. It is the sudden, painful realization that their erections no longer respond the way they once did. In fact, research shows that nearly half of men past 60 quietly struggle with weaker, shorter, or even absent erections. And many never speak of it, but here's the shocking truth. It is not always age itself stealing your strength. In many cases, it's your daily habits. And surprisingly, something as simple as what you eat in the morning can determine whether you continue to decline or begin to rise again. My name is Dr. Mohit Kara. I am a physician, a urologist, and for over 30 years, I've dedicated my career to helping men reclaim their vitality, restore natural performance, and hold on to the confidence that makes life worth living. I've worked with thousands of men who thought their best days were behind them, only to discover that their bodies were still capable of far more than they imagined. And here is the paradox. Most doctors will tell you to avoid sweetened packaged fruits. Yet, hidden inside a simple canned fruit cocktail is a natural combination of compounds that, when eaten in the right way, can actually help restore blood flow, repair arteries, and bring back natural, strong erections. This is my promise to you. By the end of this message, you will understand exactly how a single bowl of fruit each morning can become a powerful tool, not only for intimacy, but for your energy, your health, and your confidence as Amen. So stay with me, because in just a minute, I'll reveal the science, the simple routine, and the one mistake most men make that keeps them from unlocking this hidden strength after 60. Before we dive deeper, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and press that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another tip designed to help men over 60 restore strength, energy, and confidence. And I'd love to hear from you. If you believe men can reclaim their natural vitality at any age, type on in the comments. If you're still unsure, type 0 and tell me what questions you'd like me to answer in future videos. Now, let's begin with the very first truth you need to understand. Erections do not simply disappear because you are older. What really happens inside your body after 60 is far more specific. And once you see it clearly, you'll realize there is a way to fight back. 1. Why erections fade after 60? Erections fade after 60. The hidden truth. When a man crosses the age of 60, something very personal begins to change. It is not always sudden, but it is undeniable. Erections that once came easily begin to weaken. Intimacy that once felt effortless now requires more thought, more effort, and sometimes instant frustration. Many men believe this is simply because they're getting older, that time has stolen their manhood, and there is nothing to be done about it. But as a doctor who has spent over 3 decades studying male sexual health, I can tell you that is not the full story. The truth is more complex and also far more hopeful. Here is what really happens inside your body. With age, testosterone slowly declines, but that alone does not destroy erections. Their real culprit is blood flow. Over the years, arteries harden. The lining of blood vessels becomes damaged, and the production of nitric oxide, the molecule that allows blood vessels to relax and fill the penis with blood, drops to a fraction of what it was in your 30s. Their result is not just weaker erections. It is a signal that your circulation, your very lifeline, is under stress. In fact, erectile difficulties are often the earliest warning sign of cardiovasculitis. Your body is whispering a message. Fix your blood flow now before the problem grows worse. I have sat with countless men in the clinic who admitted they felt less like offensives, embarrassed even because of these changes. And I tell them this: you are not broken. You are not finished, and you are not alone. What you are experiencing is your body asking for help, not your masculinity disappearing. And the encouraging news is that Thesum changes that weaken erections can also be reversed when you nourish your body the right way. So the question becomes, where can a man over 60 begin? And here's where things may surprise you, because sometimes the most powerful solutions are hiding in the simplest, most unexpected places, even in something as ordinary as a canned fruit cocktail. The hidden power of canned fruit cocktails, too. The hidden power of canned fruit cocktails. I still remember the first time a patient looked at me with surprise when I told him that something as simple as a canned fruit cocktail could be part of the solution to his struggles. Haladen said, "Doctor, you must be joking. How can something from a can possibly help me as a man?" I smiled back, "Gals, I understand the doubt. For years, we've been told to avoid anything packed, to stay away from the sweet syrup and the processed label. And yes, too much sugar is never good for a man's health. But the truth is that inside of that colorful mix of peaches, pears, grapes, pineapple, and cherries is a blend of natural compounds that can do something extraordinary for men over 60, restore blood flow, and help erections return. You see, these fruits are not ordinary stacks. They are nature's pharmacy, rich in antioxidants, flavonoids, and especially the building blocks your body uses to create nitric oxide. This is the very molecule that relaxes your arteries and allows blood to surge where it's needed most. When a man in his 60s eats a small cup of fruit cocktail in the morning, he is not just eating breakfast. He is fueling his circulation, lowering inflammation, and giving his arteries the nutrients they desperately crave. I have seen men who felt tired, drained, and even defeat slow regain energy and intimacy by making simple changes. And one of those changes can be as humble as eating fruit from a can. It's a paradox, isn't it? What most men see as just a sugary dessert can actually be transformed into a tool for vitality if eaten wisely and in moderation. That is the beauty of this discovery. It challenges what you thought you knew, and it opens the door to a new way of seeing your health. And now the next question is this. How exactly does this little bowl of fruit transform into stronger erections? Things relies on your blood flow. And once you understand this connection, you'll never look at your morning routine the same way again. 3. Restoring blood flow. The key to natural erections. When men come to see me about their erections, they almost always expect me to talk about testosterone. They think the problem begins and ends with hormones. And while testosterone certainly plays a role, what I've seen again and again in my practice is that blood flow is the true master key. Without healthy circulation, it doesn't matter how much testosterone you have, an erection simply cannot happen. An erection is nothing more and nothing less than blood filling the chambers off the penis and staying there long enough for intimacy. If that blood flow is weak, inconsistent, or blocked, the strength of the erection fades away. I once treated a man in his late 60s who felt embarrassed every time he and his wife tried to be intimate. His body wanted to respond, but he couldn't stay firm. He thought it meant he was less of a man. After some simple tests, what we found was not a lack of desire, not even a major hormone problem, but arteries so stiff and narrow that blood could barely reach where it needed to go. In other words, his penis was simply the first place to show the warning signs of what was happening all over his body. That is why I often tell men erectile dysfunction is not just a bedroom issue. It is a circulation issue and sometimes even a heart issue. The encouraging part is that circulation can be improved. Foods rich in antioxidants, potassium, and natural nitrates open the blood vessels, protect the delicate lining of the arteries, and restore the flow of life itself. A simple cup of fruit cocktail each morning may seem small, but it is part of a larger fight to keep blood moving strongly and freely through your body. Now, here's where things get even more personal, because restoring blood flow is not only about science. It is about restoring confidence and emotional strength, and that is what we need to talk about next. Emotional health and confidence. For emotional health and confidence, one of the most overlooked parts of malosexual health is not physical at all. It is emotional. Over the years, I have listened to men describe how losing the strength of their erections affected them in ways they never expected. It wasn't only about intimacy with their partner, it was about how they saw themselves as men. A man who once felt strong and capable suddenly feels uncertain. A husband who used to lead with confidence now hesitates, and slowly a quiet fear creeps in. The fear that this part of life has already passed him by. I remember one patient who told me he avoided even holding his wife's hand in the evening because he did not want to face the possibility of disappointing her later. That broke my heart, because a physical intimacy is only one part of what makes a relationship thrive. The true damage was happening in his mind, where doubt and shame were stealing his joy. The truth I want every man over 60 to hear is this: you are not defined by a moment of weakness, and you are not less of a man because your body needs help. In fact, the very act of choosing to care for yourself, to take steps toward health, is proof of your strength. When you begin restoring blood flow and fueling your body properly, something changes inside you that goes beyond biology. You start to carry yourself differently. You walk taller. You look at your partner with a spark that she notices immediately. An intimacy feels to live again, not just because your body responds, but because your confidence returns. That sense of being whole, off being, CAPLE, cannot be replaced by any pill. It comes from within, and it can bear built. But confidence alone is not enough. You also need the right strategy, the right way to bring these foods into your life without falling into the traps that hold most men back. And that is exactly what we're going to uncover next. The right way to eat canned fruit cocktails. 5. The right way to eat canned fruit cocktails. I know what some of you may be wondering right now. If canned fruit cocktails have the power to support better blood flow, then why not just open a can, eat whole thing, and be done with it? This is where wisdom matters. Because as with so many things in life, it isn't only what you eat. It's how you eat it that makes the difference. I have seen men sabotage themselves by going overboard, eating an entire can packed in heavy syrup, only to spike their blood sugar and feel worse afterward. That isn't the path to strength. The secret is balance, moderation, and choosing the right form. When I guide my patients, I encourage them to look for canned fruit that is packed in natural juice rather than thick syrup. It may seem like a small detail, but it changes everything. Instead of overloading your body with refined sugar, you're giving yourself fruit in a form your body can handle. And then comes the timing. Eating a modest portion in the morning alongside its own protein like yogurt, cottage cheese, or even a handful of nuts creates harmony in your system. It fuels your arteries, steadies your blood sugar, and sets the tone for the rest off day. One patient told me that the simple morning ritual made him feel as though he was taking charge again, as though every spoonful was an act of reclaiming control over his health. This isn't about indulgence or restriction. It's about turning something ordinary into a daily tool for strength. By treating food as fuel and creating a morning habit that supports your circulation, you begin to notice changes not just in your body, but in your energy, your focus, and your sense of control. And now that you understand the right way to use this tool, let's go deeper into the science behind why it works so powerfully. Because the truth inside your arteries is even more fascinating than you might imagine. The science behind the Promise 6. The science behind the promise. When I speak about something as ordinary as canned fruit cocktails having the ability to restore a man's strength, it can sound almost unbelievable. That is why I always turn to the science, because science has a way of cutting through worked out and giving us the proof we need. Over the past 2 decades, countless studies have shown that men will eat more fruit, whether fresh, frozen, or canned, have lower risks of erectile dysfunction. And the reason isn't magic, it's chemistry. Fruits are packed with flavonoids and polyphenols, compounds, that protect the lining of your blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and improve the ability of your arteries to relax and expand. Without that relaxation, there is no blood flow, and without blood flow, there is no erection. I think of one large Harvard study that tracked thousands of men over years. What it found was striking. Men who consumed more flavonoid-rich fruits were not only healthier overall, they were also far less likely to experience erectile dysfunction even in their 60s and 70s South. What this means is simple. The very same compounds that defend your arteries from heart disease also defend your ability to perform in the bedroom. That is why I call erectile health the canary in the coal mine for circulation. It gives you the earliest warning. But also gives you the chance to take action. When you sit down in the morning with a small cup of fruit cocktail, you are not indulging in dessert. You are practicing preventive medicine. You are feeding your arteries the tools they need to stay open and strong. And when you repeat that habit day after day, your body begins to respond. The firmness returns, the confidence grows, and your energy follows. But science alone does not tell the whole story. Because what matters most is how that science translates into your life, into your confidence, your vitality, and the hidden strength you still carry. And that is exactly what we will uncover in the final part of this journey. Your hidden strength after 67, your hidden strength after 60. What I want every man over 60 to know is this. Your strength has not disappeared. It has not been taken away forever. It is still there, waiting beneath the surface, waiting for you to give your body the chance to use it again. Too many men surrender too early. They believe the decline in erections, energy, and confidence is permanent. They believe that once it starts, there is nothing left to do but accept it. Booty have seen with my own eyes men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s reclaim their vitality, sometimes in ways that surprised even them. It begins not with expensive drugs or complicated ciders, but with simple habits repeated every single day. A can of fruit cocktail on the shelf may not look like medicine, but when eaten with intention, it becomes a symbol of ability. Each spoonful delivers scumpins that tell your blood vessels to open, to relax, to let life flow again. Each morning you choose to fuel your body this way, you are making a statement that you still care about your strength, your intimacy, and your future. And the effect is not just physical. When your body begins to respond, when you feel firmness return, when your partner notices the change in your energy, your confidence lifts in a way that no pill can replicate. That is the hidden strength I am talking about. It is not just in your muscles or in your arteries. It is in your spirit. I have told patients many times the best years of your life are not behind you. They are in front of you if you decide to fight for them. The simple act of eating smarter, moving daily, and believing that improvement is possible can rewrite your future. And now that you see how much potential you still carry, let's bring it all together in a closing message that I hope will inspire you to take that first simple step and never look back. Conclusion. Gentlemen, we have walked through the journey together, from understanding why erections fade after 60 to uncovering the surprising power of something as simple as a canned fruit cocktail. We explored how blood flow, not just hormones, is the true key to performance, and how the smallest choices, what you put in your body each morning, can change the course of your health. Wes spoke about confidence, about the emotional weight so many men carry, insolence. And we learned that restoring strength is not just about the body, but also about reclaiming your spirit. Well looked at the science, the studies, the undeniable evidence that these fruits can open blood vessels, lower inflammation, and give you back what Yao thought was gone. What I hope you take away is this. Your best years do not have to be behind you. They can be in front of you if you choose to fight for them. I have seen too many men give up when all they needed was a little guidance and a little consistency. My message to you is simple. Start small. Start with one bowl, one morning. One decision that says you are not finished yet because a or hidden strength is waiting, and it is time to let it rise again.